Congratulations! You just put a panel discussion on your program, and now you need to organize all the bits and pieces, and there are a lot of bits and pieces to organizing a panel discussion. I'm Kristen Arnold, and I'm a professional panel moderator and a leading authority on panel discussions. And in this video, I am going to share with you the 9 things that you need to be paying attention to as you organize a powerful, lively, and informative panel. Let's find out how. You want your panel discussion to be the hit of the conference, that everybody's walking out going, oh my God, that was awesome. That was great. I got great value, incredible information, stuff I didn't even know. You want that. And you, as the meeting organizer, you have far more control, power, leverage over the choices that get set in setting up that panel discussion. In this video, I'm going to be covering the 9 steps to organizing a panel discussion. And then if you stick around to the end, I have a very special gift for you. So let's dive right on in. Step 1, pick a strong topic, premise, and title. And those are all very different. Most panel organizers pick a topic. Let's just say AI, artificial intelligence. Great. Well, what is it about artificial intelligence that you want to talk about? I want to talk about the pros and the cons, the use cases, the ethical dilemmas around AI. Okay, well that now narrows down this general topic into something that we can dive right into. But that's not even good enough. Your title needs to be something that draws the audience in and says, ooh, I want to go see that. So something like maybe the good, the bad, and the ugly, the trials and tribulations of AI, or something that you think would really be attractive to the audience. So that's step 1, pick a topic, premise, and title. Step 2 is that you clarify your vision for the panel. Now, I was talking to a panel moderator and she said, you know, I don't want it to be boring. Okay, that doesn't provide a whole lot of vision, but it tells us what you don't want to do, which is valid to know. So I said, so what is it that you want to see? She said, well, I want to see feisty conversation. Oh, feisty. Well, that gives me an idea. And she goes, I want more spontaneous talking, like things that people haven't even heard of before. Oh, okay. So I want this unplugged. Ooh, maybe I should put that in my title. This is going to be AI, the good, the bad, and the ugly of AI, unplugged. Oh, that sounds kind of interesting, don't you think? Anyway, so you kind of use those words and ask yourself, so what is it that I want to see out of this panel? Now, I kind of look at it from a 9 factors point of view, that if I go through these 9 factors, I get a pretty good idea about what my vision for the panel is. So you ready for these 9 factors? I am. First one, how formal do you want it to be? Is it a formal kind of academic setting, or maybe is it an informal fireside chat? For this meeting organizer, it sounds like it was more informal than formal. What's the discourse? Is it polite and very civil, which is sometimes important in some panels, or is it more controversial? She used the word feisty, so I would say it's more on the controversial side. Next factor is tone. Is it serious, or is it light and playful? Now, topics might determine what the tone is, but you wanna have kind of an idea of how much fun is the panel going to be, or is this more of a serious tone? Another piece is, what's the purpose of the panel? Is it more informational, that you're sharing information, or is it more inspirational, where you're trying to inspire the audience to take action, to do something that will affect your vision for the panel? Another factor to consider is how much control is in the panel? Is it really structured, or is it kind of loosey-goosey? Just kind of more spontaneous, unstructured. What's the duration? Is it really, really short? I've seen panels that are 15 minutes. Or is it really, really long, 90 minutes? That's going to affect your vision for the panel. Another factor, topical focus. Is it very generalized discussion or very niched and specialized? And what's the audience engagement? Is it passive? I'm just listening? Or do you want them highly engaged? These are things to consider. The last one is it an in-person panel? Is it virtual where everyone is remote? Or is it something in between? Some people call that hybrid or even omnichannel. All of these factors, these 9 factors come together. It's like a witch's cauldron. You throw in all these factors and you go, oh, I have a better idea of what my vision for the panel is. Now you can do this on your own and share it with your panel moderator, or I highly recommend that you have this conversation with your panel moderator so that they are aligned and you kind of know, oh, this is what I want the experience for the audience to be. Step 3 is have a skilled moderator. Now they don't need to be a professional moderator. I highly recommend that you make it a professional moderator because I am one. But you want to make sure that that person is skilled, that they have experience, that they know how to facilitate a conversation, and that they are covering all of those 8 roles that we talked about in a previous video. When it comes to finding a skilled moderator, please look beyond your list of usual suspects. So when it comes to finding that skilled panel moderator, please, I know you have your usual list of suspects. Think beyond that. Just like if you were trying to find a professional speaker, look beyond your list and really reach for somebody that you know is going to deliver on that vision. There's more information on how to find a professional panel moderator or even a skilled moderator on my website, powerfulpanels.com. Clarifying your vision is so important. And maybe you have some experience with this, or maybe you have a question or a comment. I invite you to put your observations, your reactions in the comment field below. Step 4 is selecting, inviting, and confirming what I call deep panelists. Now, your panelists, and I recommend no more than 4. 3 is a great number. 4 is awesome because one might drop out and now you have 3. You don't want to have 2. And 1 panelist is called an interview. Minor point. Anyway, you want deep panelists. Stands for diverse. So you're looking for visual diversity on the panel, whether it's gender or ethnicity or age, backgrounds, what companies they're representing or where they are on the value chain. You want diversity on your panel. Number 2, the E in deep, is you want them to have the expertise that you need. Or maybe you want somebody who doesn't have the expertise. Could be either way, but that you're really thinking about what kind of expertise do I need on the panel? Do I have an industry expert? Do I have a practitioner? Do I have somebody who's actually applying it out in the field? What kind of expertise do you need? The other E stands for eloquence. Can they string 2, 3, 4 words in order and sound credible? There are some people who really do not like public speaking. Don't put them on a panel unless they're trying to develop that skill. Finally, the last P is that your panelists will come prepared. That they come prepared, and we have a video on this, but they come prepared. They do a little bit of work. It's not a lot, but it's basically think through who's in the audience, what's the promise that we've suggested to the audience that they're going to get, and then what are the 3 points that they want to make? What's the story that's attached to those 3 points? And what's the headline? That's all I ask my panelists to do, and meet up with me as a panel moderator to kind of get a sense for what they think some of the questions are, talk about logistics, those kinds of things. Make sure that your panelists are deep panelists. So once you've selected your deep panelists, and I suggest that you look beyond the usual suspects, that you aim high, like who do you really want to have on that panel? And then you invite them. There's lots of different ways that you can invite them, and in fact, we have a video on that too. And then once they've said yes, that you go through a process of confirming that they will in fact show up. And always have that extra panelist in your back pocket that if something does happen to one of them, that you are not left in the lurch. Step 5. Oh, this is my favorite. This is about creating a structure and a format. Now, there's a difference between structure and format. We have a video on that too. Structure are the tasks, and there's about 7 tasks that you need to do. You don't have to do all of them. You can combine some of them. It is your choice about how you're going to accomplish those 7 tasks. The format is the how you accomplish it. And this is where the creativity blossoms. You can have a lot of fun with the format. Now, most meeting organizers think that there's only 4 formats possible. One is that there's a presentation style, the panelists give a presentation, and then there's a Q&A at the end. Another one is that there's introductory remarks, and then there's some moderated Q&A, and then Q&A with the audience, and then a wrap-up. These are typical. Why do typical? No, you can get creative. So you and your panel moderator think about how creative do you want to be, and that is your format. So the formats of the panel are the most creative. And I'm just curious, what do you find to be creative in your panels? And write it in the comments below. You might also want to check out my book, 123 Ways to Add Pizzazz to a Panel, because we do cover a lot of very creative formats and ways to engage the audience. So check that out. And I'd love to hear your comments below. Number 6. Confirm logistics. You're a meeting organizer, you know how to do this. The room set, microphones, making sure the panelists know where to go. This is stuff that you know as a meeting organizer. Not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this one. Step 7, now that you have all of the pieces in place, now you need to promote the panel. There's 3 pieces to promoting the panel. Number 1 is that you write compelling copy that attracts the people to want to come to this panel, and then figure out how you're going to distribute that promotional copy. So it's not just in your promotional materials, and it could be that you use social media, it could be that you ask your panelists to provide a video snippet, it could be that you do a couple of warm-up activities to get people inspired to attend. You think about what your multi-channel strategy is to get people interested. It's kind of like the appetizer before the panel. The third part to promoting your panel is that you actually create and publish that content. So the first step is write compelling content. The second step is about figuring out what that compelling content, how it can be distributed. So what's your distribution strategy? And your third step is actually creating it and publishing it. Step 8 is follow up after the panel is over. Now, frankly, a lot of people forget this step, is that, we've done the panel and now whoosh, on to the next event. But people want to stick around and they want to, chat. So is there a space that people can, or can they stay in that room? Is there a way that you can collect information about what's the one big thing that they took away, and then use that to help inform your educational programming in the future? Or there are many things that you can do to keep that conversation going. Think that through. Step 9, finally, we're at the end. 9 steps, and you know this one. It's called Beware of Murphy's Law. You know where the potholes are going to be, where the pitfalls are, where things could maybe not go as smoothly or as well as you'd like. Think those through and think about how can you prevent them from happening in the first place. As the meeting organizer, you have lots of choices that you can make, and those choices, well, they're about being intentional versus just saying, let's have a panel. I'm going to pick a panel moderator, some panelists. I'll do a room set, a typical room set, and then leave it alone. If you want your panel to be the success of the conference, then think through these choices. Now, at the beginning, I said I was going to offer you a really compelling, great gift. All of this I have condensed into a comprehensive guide for meeting organizers on how to organize a panel. So you want to go to panelorganizer.com, or the link will be in the description below, so that you can organize a powerful panel discussion.